Hello YouTube, this is Crosscheck and welcome once again to another very exciting video. Now we have a bit more of information on what we can expect from the new flight simulator because of the recently held event. If you are out of the loop on that, check the link on the description where I go through the info. We are still a bit in the dark regarding various features. Some we do know are not coming on release but are in line down the pipeline, but others are a complete mystery. In this video though, I am going to be talking about 10 things we would love to see in the next generation simulator. And by we, I mean myself. Now I don't necessarily expect these features to be in the sim. I don't consider them game breaking if they are not all of them. But I surely would love a simulator with these 10 features. I am not going to mention obvious things such as VR support, helicopters, the flight model, the voice of Morgan Freeman in the tutorial, or stuff like that.
General aviation serves America. Let's keep it that way.
What would be the point in that? Let's try to go a little deeper. So let's jump right into the first one. Numero uno, campaign mode. This was one of my favorite features of FSX.
Mali Center, World Travel 1392 with you level at 350.
World Travel 1392, roger.
It's possible that it's a fuel quantity gauge malfunction and not a real imbalance, but given the rate at which... Engine surge number 1. That's the low fuel side. Disengage the auto throttle and bring the thrust lever back to idle. Engine failure number 1. I'll call ATC. You squawk 7700, then we'll run through the checklist. Just keep flying.
Of course, the campaign mode in today's standards is a bit basic. It may preferably be called missions rather than a campaign. But I can't help to daydream what a magnificent campaign could be created today. Imagine starting your career as someone aspiring to become a pilot.
Clear for takeoff. Here we go, baby.
Going through some missions in a Cessna 172 to get its private pilot rating, then pushing forward some more to get that instrument rating and now being able to fly in nighttime or through clouds. Then pursuing that beautiful commercial rating to start making money from flying. And after that, go out there and start making some sweet monies to pay for your next certification. Go into the wild jungles and mountains of Indonesia to deliver humanitarian air service in your Pilatus Porter, just like in the worst place to be a pilot show.
Young British pilots are earning their wings in the skies above Indonesia.
Caution, terrain.
It's one of the most dangerous places to fly in the world.
I really want to get into the same situation as he did.
Afford and pass your next certification, seaplanes, and start making some tours for tourists in Alaska. Then certify yourself into multi-engine, and now start doing some epic regional flights in Nepal. Who knows, maybe try your might and take some Everest tourists up to Lukla. And keep working your way to the top, all the way to being able to sandblast all of the beachgoers in St. Martin with your 747, or maybe reaching 100,000 feet in your SR-71, who knows? But yeah, a campaign in the next flight simulator would be absolutely brilliant. A great opportunity to learn and just a blast to progress in. Fingers crossed for something like that. Numero dos. Persistence. Okay, this one may be a bit on the geeky side, but having persistent aircraft and negligence simulation would be absolutely insane. It really gives another layer of immersion. It makes the aircraft feel so alive, so real. If you had not had this experience in a flight simulator, you should go right ahead and check A2A's AccuSim technology.
And one of our favorite features is how the oil, over time, traps contaminants and ages, which you can now see visually. This pre-flight inspection puts this beautiful, living and breathing machine right at your fingertips.
If we could have that built into the simulator itself, holy moly, that would be brilliant. Okay, so if you are not following on what I'm talking about here, imagine this. You turn on your aircraft in a cold day, you don't allow the engine to warm up, and take off right away and push the RPMs above the red line, just as a good flight sim pilot would. Everything goes as planned, you land, turn off your aircraft, log out of the simulator, turn off your computer and go to bed. The next day, you want to take that baby out for a spin again. So you launch the simulator and get right to it. This time you decide to do the startup by the book. You take off, everything is fine, and all of a sudden the engine dies on you, and you cannot restart the darn thing.
Okay, I gotta put this down.
Well, because of your negligence the past day, and because there is persistence in the simulator, that engine was and still is damaged, just like in the real world. And isn't that the ultimate goal of a simulator? Let's now jump into a completely different scenario. You have not had time to play the sim for months, so you jump in straight into your turboprop and take off. Sadly, you did not take the time to make the pre-flight inspection. And it just happens a wasp nest was built inside your pitot tube during that month the aircraft was just sitting there. Now you have no airspeed indication. Well, good luck getting that puppy down without stalling, my friend. These are the kind of things that, in my opinion, the next generation flight simulator should provide. This level of immersion is just such a game changer. I really do hope we get to see stuff like this. Of course, as an option. Not everyone wants to be reminded of the consequences of negligence. Some people, myself included sometimes, just want to fly over their houses and potentially land on the street their house is in. But yeah, when you want to go all super serious business, I think this feature will be very, very welcomed. And to be honest, I think it gives more purpose for those of us who really invest time and money into the sim. Numero 3. Walk inspection mode. Okay, now this feature is not only for the geeky users, but also for the more arcadey players. This feature I'm trying to describe is basically a walk-in camera. Yes, my main goal for this camera would be for it to enable us to make pre-flight inspections of our aircraft. Make sure everything is as desired, fuel caps are locked into position, tire pressure is correct, pitot covers have been removed, there are no wasp nests blocking the pitot, etc. It's just a camera set at the average eye height, moving at the average walk-in speed. Maybe we can sprint a bit in case we are in a hurry, but yeah, not just the camera that can fly away and break the immersion. But okay, I talked about the geeky purpose of the camera. What about the more arcadey side? Well, how about just being able to freaking walk around your majestic machine and contemplate it in all of its glory? Film a little video of the walk around just like a proud new owner of any new vehicle. It just sounds like a great basic feature to have, but there also is something more I wish it can be achieved with this feature. Imagine being in multiplayer server and gather in front of your parked planes with all of your buddies to witness the first landing from the friend who has no idea what the hell is going on. That would be absolutely priceless. And I don't really mind how the player looks, it can be like a low opacity chessboard pawn for all I care. But the fact that you can see where your friends are and where they are looking at, I'm sure would bring absolute priceless moments while in voice chat. And yeah, those are the reasons why I would love a walk inspection mode. Numero 4. Light DRM, or none if possible. Okay, a lot of good can be done on the simulator, but you only need one terrible feature to ruin the whole experience. Always online DRM are anything but rare these days, but seriously, something like this in a flight simulator would be an absolute disaster. Imagine you are doing a 14-hour flight, minding your own business, and your internet connection is lost because your cat chewed the no-no cable, or bad weather outside, maybe your router just needs a good old-fashioned restart. And you notice the flight simulator sends you to the main menu with a beautiful message letting you know that you have no internet connection available. So you are no longer allowed to enjoy the software you paid for because it can't make sure you did. What a deal breaker this would be on a flight sim. Please let there be no DRM. Or if there has to be, please make it a really light one. One that does not care if you get disconnected from the internet after launching it, or better yet, that only requires authentication every now and then. Numero 5. Superb AI. Alright, So in the next gen flight simulator, I really want next gen AI. When I say AI, I am thinking in two particular areas of the simulator. One is the air traffic control and two is the air traffic itself. What good is it to have a scenery that tries to sell you the idea of flying in the real world if you have an aircraft cutting in front of you while approaching a runway, while the ATC acts like if nothing out of the ordinary just happened? Just a normal day where a Cessna 172 can cut in front of a 747 because he saw an opportunity and he just took it. I really want to see that same level of detail in the AI we have seen in the scenery. I want to feel like I am really flying between professional pilots, trying to avoid bad weather, reporting if other aircraft are in their line of sight, interacting accordingly with the ATC, sometimes needing for the ATC to repeat itself as an instruction was not understood or was not clear, and the ATC also to respond accordingly, of course, and also respond accordingly with changing scenarios in a believable way, and in disbelief when the unthinkable happens, just like in the radio conversation on the Miracle of the Hudson.
Cactus 15.9, turn left heading 270.
This is Cactus 1539. Hit birds to lost thrust on both engines, returning back towards LaGuardia.
Okay, you need to return to LaGuardia. Turn left heading up 220.
220.
Tower, stop your departures. Got emergency returning. It's 1529. He bird strike. He lost all engine. He lost the thrust in the engines. He's returning immediately.
Cactus 1529. Which engines?
He lost thrust in both engines, he said.
Of course, AI is quite complex, and I may be asking too much, but darn it, I am allowed to dream and set my desires as high as I want. Would really love to see next generation AI in my next generation simulator. Numero 6. Ground crew animations. Okay, so we know we are going to have ground crew animations, but the scope is unknown at the time being. It most definitely is my desire that we can see the ground crew give unprecedented life to the airports. I want to see that angry bag handler throw my passengers back with great fury, most definitely breaking anything breakable inside of them. I want to see them manipulating the fuel hose while listening to Daddy Yankee's Gasolina in their phone. I want to see them cutting their fingers off while trying to keep a wing from falling apart with speed tape. Yeah, that tape is pretty sharp. You can tell if a roll has been used just by looking if it has blood on it. My point is, they are what connects my aircraft with the airport. I want to see and feel that they are really there and that my aircraft really exists in that airport. I don't want to see just a random truck driving through my aircraft. I want to feel like this flight is a big operation happening because a lot of people are making it happen. What do you think about this? Do you think it is reasonable? Anyway, numero 7. Physics. Now, I'm not talking about the aerodynamics or the flight model here. I am talking about the overall physics. I would love to see the simulator integrate a detailed level of physics. Not necessarily as detailed as Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 2, where the horse's testicles actually shrunk in the cold. But I would love to see enough detail that, for example, we can see ice forming in our windshield and in our flight surfaces if the correct conditions are met. I want to see my engines blowing snow and wheels displacing it while rolling for takeoff, under snowy conditions of course. I want, if I am landing on a dirt strip and it starts raining, to be muddy and feel muddy. I want my aircraft to get all dirty and my windshield a mess while I try to wipe off all the mud. I want to feel and see that my aircraft and my surroundings interact with each other as I would see and feel them interact in the real world. I really hope we do get some of those delicious physics we have been seeing in other modern games. Numero 8. Cinematic tools. There is little doubt that this simulator will be incredibly beautiful. It would be a waste if content creators did not receive the tools inside the simulator for making absolutely stunning videos and photographs. The cinematic tools in this sim should be extremely robust, but at the same time extremely simple to use. Everyone and anyone should be capable of creating and sharing breathtaking content. Numero 9. landing speed. This should come by default in any flight sim at this day and age. I really want to see an in-game option that presents to us the vertical speed at which we crashed in a controlled fashion into the runway. A feature like this, in my opinion, just should come by default on the sim. Okay, so we are almost done now with our 10 things I wish to see in the next flight simulator. Please do let me know your thoughts on my list in the comment section below, or do throw at me some features that you think I missed and would be really sweet to see on the simulator. But now the last one, numero 10. The last feature, and the most important one I would like to see on the new flight simulator, is its success in the flight simulation market and beyond. I wish the simulator makes this hobby bigger and better. I wish the team behind the simulator see a dream materialize and enjoy the fruits of their work. And of course, I wish to still be here with all of you when this simulator comes out, and all of you here with me as well. Happy flying, cross checkout.